That's interesting. Do you notice this one? It's just a tinch shorter, just a little tinch. Mickey with CarryTrainer.com. Let's dig into a few very important tips, tricks for those of us that go armed into the world lawfully every day. We're going to start with the ammunition. I started pulling apart my carry blaster, in this case a Glock 48 sexed up by Boresight Solutions, just to do a quick little maintenance check. And I thought, you know what, let's make a vid. One of the first things I look at when I unload, because that's what you've got to do, is I inspect the ammunition. A couple things about ammunition. It's made up of 4 components. I know this is a lesson for some of you that you don't need, but just real quick. The projectile, i.e. the bullet. The long part, right? That's the brass or the casing. On the back side, we've got that little tiny dot there. We call that a primer. That's the dude that actually initiates the burn of the powder. So that primer is the only thing that's actually exploding. And then inside, we have the powder or the propellant. So 4 main components. Yes, a couple of those things have subcomponents, but 4 main components. When we assemble ammunition, the projectile is held into the case with a crimp. So you use a loading die that literally squeezes that with circumferential pressure, kind of just pinching these 2 malleable metals together. And there can be bunches of different types of metals. There's steel casings, which is not ideal, but it's cheaper, right? And oftentimes the projectiles are made of things that are somewhat soft. Lead being one of them, copper in this case with this solid copper hollow point, which are both softer on the metal scale. So as they're crimped, you are just holding with that crimped pressure the bits together. Here's when we get a problem. Ammunition is amazingly tolerant of many things. Ammunition does not like high heat. It doesn't like moisture. It doesn't like being stored in humidity. It doesn't like getting dropped or bounced around, but it can handle a lot of those things. What it doesn't do well is this, getting chambered over and over. Ammunition's made to go in the chamber, go off, and then that's the end of it. But for those of us that carry, from time to time, we have to unload this stuff. And let's be serious about this. The carry ammo is expensive. I use, where am I at here? Right here. I use the solid copper from my guys at Supervel. Amazing ammunition. Monolithic bullet. But that's another discussion altogether. What can happen as we load is this projectile, and every gun and bullet combination, there's going to be a little bit different relationship of these parts, but this is the bulk of it. This dude's riding up this feed ramp, and as it rides up that feed ramp, there are 2 main forces happening, 3. First one, like a hammer, as that slide, here's where the round's sitting, right, as we're waiting for the gun to do its thing. As this gets jammed up against there, like a hammer, it's pounding that bullet back into the case. The second thing, you can see the angle of the dangle. There is lateral force. Imagine me just trying to pull here, pushing upwards and literally torquing and twisting the projectile inside of the case. So we've got that hammering force, we've got that torquing force, but then the third one is, as this thing gets jammed into the chamber, and that slide slams home, that satisfying thud of going into battery, you have that inertial energy driving forward, which can drive that bullet literally right out the end. So both things can happen, that we can shorten the overall cartridge length or extend the overall cartridge length. And you can actually extend it to the point that the projectile can fall right out. I just saw it happen recently. I shared a picture. A family member that is in law enforcement took his duty gun out to do a little wipe down on it, and the round fell out when he took the gun apart. It was just kind of like living, floating in the front of the chamber, and as he took it apart, it all just fell out. All the powder was out all over the floor. So what are our options? 1, swap the ammo more frequently. There's a cost to that. And the question always is, well, how often? It depends. It depends on how often these rounds are going in and out of your gun, and it depends on how aggressive these torquing and pounding forces happen. 2, as you load and unload the carry round, do it gently. Do it gently. 3, from time to time, download the magazine, take the round that was in the chamber, set it aside, and then put it to the bottom. So maybe after a week or 2 of living in the chamber, drive it to the bottom. And maybe you could just maybe make a mark with a Sharpie on that brass. And when you get all the way through, if you haven't had to shoot the gun, maybe that's a good indicator that you can swap it. So that's another way that you could do it. I try to shoot mine every 2 to 3 months. For me, it's a good test to make sure everything's functioning good in the gun, but it's also a good way to get rid of that ammo, which I know has a cost to it, but it's a price of doing business if you're going to go armed in the world. So there's a brief discussion there on ammunition. Check out our playlist on ammunition, and you'll see a bunch of other stuff there too. Next, I've been giving this gun a little wipe down. I love these cotton rags. I buy them in huge cases. We use them at the shop and in the office all the time. The wipe down is giving me a chance to make sure things like sights, dots, screws, roll pins, all of those things are where they are supposed to be, and that nothing's in the gun that shouldn't be. You'd be surprised how much gunk and debris from the environment can get in there. How often should you do that? I mean, if you are, I got a friend that's a carpenter that carries a gun on him all day, and you have no idea how filthy that thing is. I've seen a tree cutter running a chainsaw with a gun on him. I mean, you probably want to do that every day, wipe the gun off. If you are a business guy with a sport coat on, hiding a gun under a jacket all day long, you know, maybe every week, pop it apart. The way I see it, this is a life-saving tool. Take you 15 minutes, take you 1 minute really to break it apart and just wipe it down. It lets you have confidence in the stuff that you're carrying. I'm also looking to make sure that my sights have not somehow gotten misaligned, something bumped them, something occluding anything, make sure there's no scratches, check the batteries and all that kind of stuff. Same thing goes for the lower. I have found when taking things apart, man, that spring is about to snap, or that thing is, you know, at the end of its life. Next, we're going to use lube. And yes, of course, I'm using Gunfighter gun oil. I love these things. These are little needle bottles that we buy in huge cases, and I'll tell you more about these in a second. I filled them up with our lube, which, by the way, you can see has got no colors, no scents, pretty much smells like nothing, 100% synthetic. So I'm going to lube all the lube points for my blaster. I can't go into the weeds on how to lube all of these things because they're not all the same, right? Got plenty of videos here on lubrication, which I know some of you guys can't get enough of the lubrication talk, which is on you, not on me. So as we put this gun back together again and get it out of our way, we're going to look at one more thing here before we end our discussion. Make sure that we get this gun back together. We'll do a function check, safely depress trigger, cycle, depress. All right, we've got good trigger action. We'll set this dude aside. Something that we often overlook, our holsters. Top to bottom look. I like to take my rags. A bottle brush also works good. Take the sucker to the sink, rinse everything off, dry it somewhere safe. Don't do this with your food because there are lead and other things that's on these things that you don't want by food. But go to a utility sink, rinse this thing out, wipe it off, check every screw, check every rivet, check everything. And then the thing that you're looking for is, how is the retention? Do you have good retention, how you want it while you're out in the field? Got good retention, everything's going good. Yep, cool, I dig it, life is good. And now I feel far more confident in the stuff that's on my body. Mickey with CarryTrainer.com. I hope you guys dig these little vids. I'm going to do, for the rest of December 2025, anybody that orders a combo from us, from Gunfighter Gun Oil. So a combo could be grease and cleaner. It could be lubes and cleaner and grease. I'll show you these products real quick. Made in the USA, made in the USA, made in the USA. And we've got some really good shooters and companies that swear by this stuff. So if you order a combo for free, you don't have to do anything. We'll toss in one of these handy needle bottles, which these are great for a range bag. They don't leak, they seal up. Range bag, toolbox, etc. We'll toss in one of these chip brushes. These things I swear by them for doing your quick clean, wipe down, and lube. These little natural fibers, which are beautiful for holding the lube or cleaner. And you can clean these with a little dish soap. Just go to the sink, little dish soap, clean them, let them dry. They'll actually last years. So we'll toss one of those in, and then a nice chunk of rag, so you've got that. So any combo, we're going to give you these 3 items over at Gunfighter Gun Oil. Hey, I appreciate you guys. I hope that you are having a really good end to 2025. We look forward to seeing you out on the range. CarryTrainer.com to come jump in a class. CarryTrainer.com, Gunfighter Gun Oil. And don't forget Ignis Lux Coffee. I know there's a bunch of different brands of coffee out there. Please try it. If you don't like it, I'll tell you lose my number. I'm just kidding. I think that you'll totally dig it. We just roasted today. We're getting ready to launch the Holiday Blend, which is a delicious blend of beans with a little bit of cinnamon and cardamom, freshly ground, no artificial anything. Pretty much roasted within days of when it comes to your door. Be well. Don't be dickheads. Tell somebody you love them, and we'll see you on the flip side. Bye.